Hi beautiful people, welcome to Kate Space, welcome to my channel. I'm Kate from Pixie Designs, and today I am going to try something a little bit different for me. I have recently come across Cara Brandon Creations, who's been doing the 2025 kind of decluttering collaboration and hashtag declutter 2025 or something like that, and she has been I'm just looking at my notes. She has been working with a woman called Dana K. White from A Slob Comes Clean, and she also wrote a book called Decluttering at the Speed of Life or something. Anyway, I can link those things below, and I'm not part of the collaboration, but I came across it and it kind of sparked an interest in me because there's a few things that Dana talked about that kind of, I don't know, just kind of rung a bell. One of the ones was she talked about a clutter threshold. I don't know about you, but I seem to get to a point where I just can't create. I feel like I come down to my room and I don't feel inspired or excited about being here, and some of that's just the normal everyday ups and downs of trying to be creative, but some of it is also when my space kind of feels out of control. And it's the same in my home. I get to a point where if things get too cluttered for me, my clutter threshold, then I kind of lose it. So that really rung a bell with me. There was something else she talked about, was the container. And she talked about how the container is created to contain things, and once that container's full, then you don't buy another container. Just like when your studio's full, you don't go and extend it or move into a different room. You basically need to decide what you want to keep and what fits in that container. And I really loved that concept, and it made me kind of want to get in here and declutter, because when I come back down here after my knee operation, I really want to feel like I can just get back into things, feel comfortable, it be a safe space for me if I'm still on crutches. So yeah, that was the two things that really struck a chord. But there was one other and I just can't remember it off the top of my head. Anyway, it might come to me when I do the voiceover. So basically you start with the floor. So I'm going to start with my floor, and that will involve picking up all the rubbish or trash, as she calls it. To be honest, there's not actually that much trash on my floor, but there are other things on my floor. So do that. And then what was the next thing? I guess picking up all the things that are on the floor that have a place, making a place for those, and if they don't have a place, deciding what we're going to do with them. So that's kind of my first goal, and then I think I'll tackle my desk, which is actually this week's sort of challenge. So I'm behind and I'm not trying to keep up or anything, but I thought it would be fun to do a lot of this and get my space sorted and get it to a point where I'm happy with how much there is in it and where everything is. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do, and I thought I might video it and see how that goes. I'll put it up if I think it's of interest to anyone. Oh, actually, you know what? I'll just put it up anyway, even if it's not of interest to anyone. Because yeah, I'm bothering to film it, so I might as well put it up, right? So yeah. Okay, so I'm going to get started. I'm probably going to just whip my camera around and do that side first, and then rearrange it and do this side. So because I've got those two little extra areas, and I can already see things that I want to sort. But yeah, I'm going to start with the floor, putting things away, and yeah, and then I will see how we get on. Cool. All right. So I start breaking Dana's rules pretty much straight away. I get this vacuum cleaner that does live in my room, kind of doesn't have a space, and I just stick it outside in the carport for now because I'm considering where I want to put that. Right, so I grab my trash bag, and there actually isn't that much rubbish on my floor. There's other stuff on the floor, but there's not that much rubbish. So I'm just going around this. I'm treating these two areas, so the little step up wooden floor bit and the main sort of part of my studio as two separate areas. And I've just gone out and I've got a tub where I put all my big sort of paper that I'm throwing out that goes into the paper recycling bin. So I've put that outside and I'm thinking, oh well, that's pretty much all the rubbish. And now I've turned the camera around doing the other half of the studio. So again, there's not much actual trash on my floor. There's like bits of scraps of paper and stuff from the cutter, and under my desk there's lots of sort of small bits of paper and things, but not actually a lot of, I don't know, rubbishy things, I guess, on the floor. So that's a good thing. I did have a little bit of a tidy up before I went away on holiday, so I'm just taking that glass out and that will go upstairs. Now, I don't go all the way upstairs to put it away, which is kind of what Dana says to do, but it's too many stairs for me at this stage. So now I'm like, okay, there's a bit of plastic on that desk, but I'm doing the floor. So I turn back around and I think, okay, now I'm going to put away what's easy, and there's not that much on the floor. So I bought some fabric the other day and I just had sort of popped it on my chair. So I thought, okay, well, that has a place. That can go in the fabric cupboard. Now, in saying that, the fabric cupboard could probably do with a declutter as well, but at this stage that fits in and the door closed, so that is a bonus. Then there's all my magazines. Most of these are like Flow or Breathe and Daphne's Diary. Some of them were given to me, some I've purchased, and I was like going through them going, oh, which ones shall I throw? Shall I either get rid of or donate? And I've cut into lots of them, so I don't really feel like I should donate them. So I did find one that hadn't been cut into. And I'm thinking, oh, I actually really like these. I like sort of getting them out when I'm doing journaling, especially Junk Journal July and Junk Journal January. So I'm thinking, I want to keep them. Where can I put them? So these don't actually have a place, and I'm thinking, well, is something going to have to be thrown out so that I can find a place for these? So I'm grabbing them. Okay, I don't know, I'm not sure what that is. Because the rule is you're not supposed to just move something onto another surface, and I get that. But like I said, I'm treating this room as a different room. So that's why I am putting them on these surfaces in the other part of my studio. It's cheating, but it's just the way I'm trying to adapt to do it, because some of my spaces need decluttering and I don't want to start a really, really big job. Yep. So this is a big plastic mat that I put over the table when I'm dyeing, and I don't really have a place for it, so I'm just putting it in that cupboard there where all my paints and sort of mixed media stuff is. That may change. Those are photo frames and photos, and now I'm going, oh, I don't know where these magazines are going to go. So I do actually find a place for them in my bookshelf in the other part of the studio, and I think you'll see that later where I put them. This basket container thing here is basically a pile of all my old journals, and I'm just deciding here whether I'm going to keep them or throw them away. I'm looking through some cards. One of them is from someone I don't even remember who, and one of them is from someone I don't really keep in touch with anymore. So I throw them in the rubbish, which is good. I'm terrible at throwing away things people have given me. I feel really bad if I do it. So yeah, I'm just going through this and having a look at it, and then I think, oh, actually this is not probably what I'm meant to be doing right now. This is not helping. And I actually do stop at this point and I just sort of shove everything in there. Oh, I find this little traveler's notebook size journal, and it's got paper and stuff in it, and I think, oh, that's a good size. If I make a traveler's notebook, it's a good way to size it. So I pop that in with my papers for my journals. So I'm pleased with that. And then I actually bring this in and I stick it down here next to my Christmas stuff, which will need a big sort out, and I'll leave it there. The next thing I do is this little basket down here has got vintage embroidery in it that my mum started years and years ago, and I brought it home and I bought all the threads and I was going to work on it, and I haven't. And my thought at the moment is that I may have a couple of weeks where I'm not very mobile coming up, and I might do some stitching upstairs. So I've taken it out of that little bag. That little bag I had it in was actually made for my daughters by their grandmother, and I just can't bear to part with it. So I've stuck I've stuck my embroidery instruction books and that embroidery in that funny basket thing, and I'm not entirely sure I'll keep that basket. Here you can see me umming and ahhing with this little suitcase, and I end up putting it in the donate box, and I really struggle with that. I love that little suitcase, so it may end up staying. We will see what happens in the entirety of this cleanup. So yeah, pretty happy with what I've achieved there. So then I start on clearing the floor of things in this part of the studio that I know where they belong. So I have a lot of plastic containers with sort of random different things in them, and I stack them on that workbench. So I'm not going to change that. I'm sticking to that. And then I realise I've got my old Big Shot fold-away, which I've just replaced with a new Big Shot Plus, and I think that can go in the giveaway pile. And when I bought the Big Shot Plus, I also got a whole lot of dies with it that I'm pretty sure I won't use. I decided to keep the magnetic mat they were on. I thought that might be useful, but the dies I think I'm going to give away. So I'm just grabbing a plastic bag to put them in. I might find some card so that lying on something a little, like put them in a folder so they're in something a little more robust so they won't get bent. But I'm hoping that I might have found someone who may want that Big Shot fold away, which is great. I was going to try and sell it, but it's not in bad condition, but it has been well used, so I think I'd rather give it away. So that's going in the donate pile, so that's awesome, and that's cleared off some of that bench. Then I've got these things, I'm not quite sure what they are. They're Christmas things. I'm going to deal with the Christmas stuff separately. That doesn't actually technically have a space, and that does bother me. I found a postage stamp and I'm putting it in my postage stamp album, and then I think, oh, there's a postage stamp on my desk, and I think, oh no, we're not doing the desk. So here I am sorting out my books down there. That bottom shelf is the tallest shelf I've got, and most of my botanical books are down there, and I reckon my magazines can fit in here, because I think I discarded some garden books before I went away. So yep, they do fit in. And then I find this sort of magazine. It's sort of a book on watercolor painting. I think, shall I get rid of it? And I think, no, I'm going to just put it in there. And I kind of force it in, so that does need to be dealt with. I have this really tall Redoute Roses book. It's massive and it doesn't fit in the shelf. So you can see I've laid it down on top of those books. Not ideal, and I will probably change that going forward. Here I am looking at my Christmas stuff going, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with that? So yeah, I think I don't need the little heater in here anymore at the moment. So I'm going to put that upstairs in the house. I know where that can go. I don't go all the way upstairs because that's too far. I'll take it up with the other stuff. So that's that all done. So that didn't take me too long, that part. There's lots of areas that I want to tackle. My Christmas things need a place, and those old diaries, and then the next video I'm going to do my desk, which you'll see is pretty disastrous. So yeah, thanks so much for hanging out with me today and watching this video. I just thought I'd bring you along on the journey. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again soon in the next video. Bye.